Hello, fellow makers, hobbyists, enthusiasts, 3D printers, and everybody else. It's Clint with Custom 3D Specialties here, and today we're going to be continuing with the Hitry Rocket Pro, or Hitry Rocket 1 Pro. I got it on a little bit more better stable surface, and we're ready to do some leveling and some setup. So we went over what was on the paper before. That was all in the unboxing and stuff to check through. Does have the inspect the equipment, all that. I did take and load the contents of the USB onto my computer. So I will open that up. I will turn this on. One thing that I did notice before, in between after I quit the live stream and was looking through this a little more, I was able to actually get the files that are on the USB to show up on the printer. Like right now, when I hit print, you can't see anything, but it says machine status code. If you hit the 3 layers up here, it brings up all the system volumes and everything else. There is a file on here called Rocket 1 Machine Parameters. That is a G-code file. I believe that is the parameters for the printer itself. Says version 1.0-20. So let's go check in our system and information, and does not say that there. And tools, nope. So I'm still waiting for Hitcher to get back to me on what that actually is. So other than that, we have the system volume information, the U-disk material, and here's where you get your slicing software, your test file, and here's where the test files are. These are just C2B files. They should be ready to print. So now you know how to get your files if you just want to use them on the USB instead of transfer them. So let's go back out of here. We're good there. So what we have for, let's see if I can get this one a little better. I doubt I'll be able to get that clearer. It is what it is. Sorry anybody that's watching in the live stream. So we're going to open up the manual. And scroll down. Here's the unboxing. And here's the leveling. So, also before I get going too far, you may have heard me mention before that I really didn't like how this metal doorstop was scratching the inside of the door. It just kind of really irritated me. So I have a couple of these mirrors, just from your local dollar store, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, whatever. And I was able to get one of these little foam pads off the back. Oh, sorry about that. Don't know what that was. I was able to get one of these foam pads off the back. And I put that right where this metal thing meets the door. And I no longer worry about the door getting scratched or sliding and closing because it actually sinks right into the foam, and it worked pretty well. I did suggest to Hitry that they add a little rubber stop or something to this, or even shorten it up. I think I may have mentioned it in the unboxing video. Even shorten this a little bit so that it actually does clip on the back of the door and keep the door wide open. But I'm satisfied with my little quick fix of a little foam, 1/8 inch thick pad. Maybe it's a 16th. Yeah, it's a 16th. That you find on any of your normal coasters or mirrors at your local dollar store. So, continuing on with the raising of the machine, I'm going to tilt this back. I will lift up the tray because we want this tray to be floating above our table and the machine supporting it, and the machine has to be level in order for the liquid, the resin in the trough, to cover your build plate evenly so that you get a successful print. Um, let's keep our fingers crossed. Alright, so tilt this back. I'm going to unscrew this a bunch. Actually, these are all pretty forward. I'm going to grab a marker. I'm just going to mark the front of these, and that way I can count how many times it spins around so I can kind of get them in the same rotation or same height. It's a little tricky. Put this over to the side. Not ready for those yet. Move those. Need those later, I'm sure. And go right back to the side just so I can see. Now, I did leave the blue plastic protectors on. I did not take those off yet. So that's why I am confidently marking it with a marker. And it looked like we were about an inch. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and we'll do 20. Okay, and now we'll do the other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Now they do have the little locks here, so I'm just going to spin those up so that those don't move. We're going to do backs, and for this I am going to close the door. Because I have a feeling it'll probably swing open anyway. See, there we go. I knew it. Okay, so ever so carefully balancing. One, two, three, 4, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And I'll hold this one in place and I'll screw that lock up to the top. Not that this is the magic number, or it's actually the height that it needs to be, but it just seems like a good place to start. Looks about a decent distance. Okay, and same thing for the last one here. And this one's in the back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, come on, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Same thing, hold this in place, screw this lock up. Set it back down gently, and you should be pretty close. We'll see. Now we'll see if this slides in and where it stands. So as of right now, this don't rock back and forth, so that's pretty good. And it is higher than what the table is, and we have some clearance underneath. So unspin it about 20 times. You may be able to get away with 15 if you don't like how wobbly 20 is. It is a lot to unscrew. They could have extended the legs down here a little bit, but I guess it kind of gives it like the little rocket booster, bottom base look of it taking off. This is a rocket. So now that that slides in nice and freely, and is being supported by the printer itself. I mean, there's really no locking mechanism on it that I see. It just kind of slides and sits in there. So, okay. So we've adjusted the feet to a temporary height. Now we want to add some water. These are clean resin bottles. I've cleaned them out. Did add water to these prior. So I'm just going to add some water in here. I may have to fill this up a couple times. It's only about here off of 1,000 milliliters, or 1,000 grams. Here's a 500 gram. And that put us up to probably about just under about here. Let me fill this up a little bit more. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that little thumbs up button. Let me know if you liked the video. Okay, so we're gonna need some more. so that way I can get an estimate. Because right now we're at 2,500 grams. And we're just about to break the top. Well, okay. So, let's take a flashlight here. So there kind of are what look to be some kind of leveling lines. As it looks right now, my printer is high on this side. So here's where you want to, let's see how I can do this. I don't know if there's gonna be able to see. Bring you in close. Kind of see in there when I take the light. I mean, it's water, but you might be able to see. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little more. So right now I'm at 3,500 grams, and it's gonna take just a teeny bit more. Here's a poquito. Like I said, there's a couple little lines that go around, maybe about an 1/8 inch down on the trough. Okay, so I'm almost about to pour out on the right side. So I have to lower the left side. And this is a 10 millimeter nut. And so we go righty tighty, we'll bring the printer down. And I still have the black marks on there so I can match up what I do to the front to what I do to the back. So I'm going to zoom you guys back out here. So I did a half a turn. Let's see where that puts us. Yeah, I gotta go probably about 2 turns in. So 1, 2, I need 2. That's finally 1. Okay. You may have to loosen up your locks nuts. more of this out the way. Either. That would not be a fun experience. Okay, let's check that. And it needs a lot more. Loosen that up. Loosen this up. Okay, so this is me touching. So it's all on the back one. Loosen that up. Okay, so right there, I have pressure on both of the feet. And we'll check and see where we're at. It's getting a little closer. Screw that in a little more. Screw this one in a little more. That was a big move. Give it a little push down, make sure the feet are settled. And it's hard to see this front. This front's got to go way, way down. That's loose, that's tight. Okay, a couple more millimeters. Make sure the feet are flat. So now I jiggle my water pretty good. I'm gonna let it settle. But so far from what it looks like, man went just a tidbit too far. This front is too high now. Okay. Down. Let the water stabilize. Looks like I might be a little low in the back corner now. Yeah, this one ain't even touching. So now we gotta come lefty loosey, which will push the printer up. Okay, so I'm pretty close here, so I'm gonna add a little more water to where it looks like you're gonna go over the edge of the trough. More. Alright, what do we add here? Looks like my front's still a little high. So a little bit, a little bit. Now make sure if you do grab by the feet that you are spinning the actual screw too, because the feet do spin on their own. It's really hard to see this corner here. Well, I guess if I open the door just a little bit more, it's a little easier. We're right there. That's right there. This side's a little high. So I'm going to come up a little bit. Come up a little bit. This front's still a little high, so I'll go in a little bit. Push down, make sure all the feet are set. We're getting close, guys. A little bit more water. Nice thing chatting. We got 2 people watching. Hey, how's it going? Okay, so I still have not broke over the edges yet. It's getting pretty close. I did notice on the top of this trough, the corners are cut out. So there's a ridge and then it comes down, corner, and then goes back up. And what that actually does is that holds the bubble so that the water, if you ever fill up a glass, it's never flat with the top. It always kind of bubbles a little bit. And that actually kind of allows you to tell how level you are on your corners. Which it looks like I'm really close from what I can see here. This head may be a little high. This side's a little high back here. Bring this side up a little bit. Okay, so you gotta go left, which will raise the press up, or the printer up. And to the right, we'll bring the printer down. Okay, give it a little push, make sure all the feet are flat. I'm gonna add a little more water. I still haven't broke over the edge yet. I have to change my lights and my flashlight. My batteries in my flashlight. Yeah, let's see if I can bring you guys in so you can see. You can kind of see a little bubble that's forming on the top there. You can see how it's kind of cut out. Let you actually see the water. Sorry if I'm making anybody dizzy. There you go. Alright. Let me change these batteries real quick. Go figure. It's always got to be something, right, guys? And I am back with a brand new light. Okay. So I'd say I'm pretty good, I think. I mean, I don't know. I know this has to be, we're talking nanometers of millimeters of micromillimeters. Add a little more water. This front is definitely higher than the back. So I gotta go lefty loosey, which pushes the printer up. See, right now I'm just spinning the pad. I wasn't even putting it up. Okay. The other thing I did suggest to Hitry is we have for those of us that got the mini trough, if this was just a little bit shorter, this would fit right inside the basket of the big trough, and you wouldn't have to worry about overspill or anything like that of it making a big mess. That's the one thing that I'm like, I don't know about how this little trough is going to work, because if it's going to spill over onto here and you hold it up with this little guy, even off the bat, I mean, it's pretty stable, but, I don't know. I would feel a lot more comfortable if this was able to drop in the actual trough. I don't know about you guys. If you got some comments on that, please put them below. Hitry is open to suggestions, so please suggest them on their Facebook group. I will put the link to that down below, and I will also put the link to my Facebook group, Hitry Rocket 1 and Pro Owners group. We're up to about 145 members already. There are some people with already have completed some prints, and so they're going through some of the details a little further than me already. But we're here to help everybody out. So feel free to join and partake if you have a Hitry printer. All right. So again, like I said, this is going to take a lot of resin used in this trough. They did give filler. My directions on the filler are pretty, let's put it all the way down either. So right, that need to come down a little bit. You could sit here and do this all day. It depends on how much your OCD is. But, so yeah. So we need about 35, 36, 37, 3,700 grams of resin. That's quite a bit of resin. So I will just continue to pour some water in here just to see where which one overflows first. None so far. Still none. But my bubble's looking pretty even. Make sure feet are seated. Just gonna give these all a wiggle, make sure they're all down. So I might be at a good point here. Add a little more water. Okay, so I broke over the center first. That might mean that's right where I was pouring too. So let me go back a little further. Yeah, so that's coming over the exact center. Didn't come over anywhere else. So I would take it that I'm just a little low in the front. Okay. So now we will try put this on. And I believe it says it's going to go down 16 inches. Okay, let me back up a bit here. Okay. Put the grooves on both sides of the trough on the surface of the roller. This structure has automatic centering function. Generally, only need to place the trough normally and push it into the machine. So that is all done correctly. Step 2, pour the resin into the trough until the resin liquid level is just below the bottom level of the trough. Find the lowest area of the trough, the area where the resin overflows first. Find the corresponding, I need to focus out a little bit here. Come on. Find the corresponding machine foot. Under the area, loosen the fixing nut and rotate the foot peg counterclockwise. Which I just went over that until the resin liquid is basically parallel to the base level of the trough. The debugging of the equipment has been completed. Okay, so that has been debugged now. The sides of the liquid storage in the trough face outwards. Observe whether the roller is correctly inserted into the trough grooves. Okay, so yeah, that should be all fine. When pouring resin into the trough, be careful not to overflow too much because the storage box of the liquid storage box is limited. So yes, you can only fit so much liquid in your storage box here. If you move the machine, you need to complete step 3 again before you can print. So when I move this into its forever home, then I have to redo the leveling process again. But for now, I will lock these in place. And that should be pretty good. Let's see what's next. Dum dum dum. So now we set the z-axis to 0. This step is to compensate the height error between the platform and the resin liquid level caused by the platform. Being too high or too low, the operation method is as followed. The holes of the fine-tuning platform are flush with the resin liquid. Okay, set access to 0. So, back to 0. So we will go Tools. We will go Manual. Pretty sure, let's see. Return the platform to 0. So we'll go Home. That is 0. I know somewhere in here it says that the platform goes down 16 millimeters before printing. I'm pretty sure it said that somewhere in here. So I believe this is where you have to manually no, wasn't on this. Wasn't on that. So parts contact. Open door, taken out, movement. Okay, so debugging the equipment. Okay, yes, just read all that. Oh yeah, it's right here in red. Note, the z-axis height drops 16 millimeters by default. So return to 0, which is I just hit home, and then I'm going to go down 10 millimeters manually, and then I will go to the 1 millimeter button, and I'll go down 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm interested to see where the resin breaks through here. And 6. So that don't look. That is definitely not in the trough. That is high. So there may be certain error here. If you can fine tune 0.1 to make the platform hole level with the resin liquid level, set z-axis to 0. Okay, so even at that, it looks like my platform is crooked to begin with, though. Looks like this side is higher. I'll take it off. Let's flip it around and see. Some of the magnets could be glued a little wrong. There, that looks a little more level, but that one back corner is high now. Okay. Well, we'll see where this comes out at. So we'll go down 1 more millimeter. I'm going to stop jiggling the table. It did not come out of the holes yet. We'll go to 0.10 millimeters. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 18, 19. Wow. See, this corner is high. Well, the water's starting to come over. That's going down a lot. You can see there. You see it's kind of coming over back there. Yeah, right back there. I mean, that's a lot that I'm going down already. I'm almost up to 50 times pushing this button. I guess that's only 0.5 millimeter though. Okay. I mean, that's a big drop. I'm gonna come up 1 millimeter here. Okay, so 1 millimeter. That was too much. So we'll go back down one. Go down again. The screen does not like my finger. Okay, so we will slowly bring it up now. Go up some more. Whoop. Okay, so go down 1, 2, 3. And then we'll go down 1 millimeter. Go down 1 more millimeter. 2, 3. Okay, so that's all covered. Now we'll come up 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay, 4 is too many. It's almost there. That's because that's a high corner. This is only water. I guess I could try and bring this down a little bit more. Back you guys up. Right. And let's raise this corner a little bit. So we want to go left. Just to try and compensate maybe for what's going on with the plate or the platform. Make sure all the feet are down. Okay, we'll go back to 0.10. Bring this back up a little bit more. Oh, wrong button. So you start to see the little ripples of the holes. And what you're looking for okay, see how that came back through again? So we're going to go down a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll go to 1 millimeter. And go down. 2, 3. Now come up 3. So you can see where that height is. Okay. So I'm back up to 3 millimeters that went down. I'm not breaking the surface anywhere yet. I'm going to go back to 0.10 millimeters. I'm going to come up. I'm checking for this corner to break through first again. Yeah, it's all straight. Okay, and there it just broke through. So, let's see. We'll raise the back a little more. And we will lower the front a little and lower the front a little. We need to compensate now for whatever the plate is bent. So, righty tighty is going to bring the printer down. So as we turn it to the right. Okay, and push on top a little bit. Pour out some water. Top it back off. Look. Good thing I'm using water, because my bucket is full. So definitely something you need to pay attention to if you're using resin to level. Granted, I'm sure it's a little easier because it's color than water. But, I mean, you can see the water. I can see the water. I don't know if you guys can on video or not. But I'm going to get you guys closer again. You know, you can see the water line. It's right there. So I'm going to remove this. It's just kind of a tilt up and down and pull. And then kind of just up and on. Okay, there we go. So I'm almost level here, I think. So this one's really loose. So I have to bring the back one up. Step over this cord for you YouTube guys. Okay, and that one's really low. So I need to bring it up. Let's go to the left, left. Where's my tool? I don't think I'm spinning, but I need to. Okay, so that's down. That one is not down. So let's bring this one down a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go down 1 millimeter and come back up 1 millimeter. Okay, we'll go down 2 millimeters. Okay, that covered the whole plate. Come up 1, come up 2, and that's still all covered. I don't know if you can see that now. So that's all covered. So now I'm going to come back up with 0.10 millimeters, basically a tenth of a millimeter. And I want to look for the platform to be coming out evenly. That is going to be the little thin layer that you want to start with. Keep coming out. Okay. So now I don't know if you just saw all that water just disappear pretty much at the same time. So now right there, I'm going to go down 0.2 of a millimeter. So I'm going to hit the 0.10 millimeter button twice going down. And then I'm going to drop, go to 1 millimeter and bring it down once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. This is why it goes down 16 millimeters to begin with and then comes up to 0. 4 times. So there we go. So now I got to come up 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And didn't leave much on. So now we got to go down a couple more. on the 0.10 millimeter. Go down 4 more times, then I'll go to 1 millimeter. I'll go down 2, 3, okay. So I don't know if you guys saw that or not. I mean, I'm trying here. I know you guys can't over there, but so now we go up 3 millimeters. That's what I went down. Okay, still taking a little less. So I'll go back to 0.10 millimeters, go down about 4 or 5 times more. Go 5, go back to 1 millimeter, go down 1, 2, 3. There we go. Oh, it's hot in here. Now we're going to go back to go up 3 millimeters. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to go up one more just to see. Maybe I didn't push a button right. Nope, that's 4. That clears. So we're going to go back down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to come up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that did not break the surface of the water. So I'm very, very, very close to that very little itty bitty bitty surface that we're trying to find here. I'll go back to 0.0 or 0.10 millimeters and come up 2, 1, 2. Okay. So we'll go back down 1, go back to millimeter, and we're going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3. That did not break the water surface tension. And if I come up one more, if I go to 0.10 millimeters and I go up one more, there we go. So it broke the tension. So that means I'm within the finest layer that you could possibly do with this printer, which is 0.10 layer millimeter layers. So I will go back down 1. I will go back to 1 millimeter. I will go down 3 times. 2, 3. Let's double check this again. It's all covered. Come up 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and everything is fine. And now I go back and I set Z to be 0. Confirm. So now, if I go back to return, whoops, go back to tools, go back to manual, let's go to home. Should bring it up. Now I'm going to go and try and start a print. So which one do we have here? Should we go with test 1, 2, or 3? Test 1 looks like Batman. Test 2 looks like maybe a Wonder Woman-ish type. Looks like she got a gun though. I didn't know Wonder Woman to have a gun. And who is number 3? Number 3 looks like I'm not sure. Um, let's go. Number 2 looks like it has a big base. So let's try that one. So let's see what happens here. So it's now lowering the platform. It should go down 16 millimeters, as it was stated. You should see the water suck over the build plate. Okay, and nope. So that wasn't right. Because the first one went on the bare platform. So, well, let's see what their settings are. Exposure time. They don't tell you too much. It just says bottom layer count 5, bottom exposure 5 seconds, and exposure time 3 seconds. I am running this on what was the light settings? I want to be on the medium. Let me step over this again and again. And let's set all that down here, I believe. Okay, so sheet 2 box. That'll be all that set up. Machine parameters. This will be all that. Yep. Okay. So yeah. I want below, which is this one. So we'll go back. Hit stop. Confirm. So now that I know that that did not work correctly, scratch everything I just said. And we will go back and we will try this again. So we will go to manual and go to home. And we will go 10 millimeters. See, this is what sucks though, because it don't go back to your last save position. Well, let's see. No, because that'll set it at 0 up there. So there's 10. There's 20. And we'll go 1 millimeter. And go. That's pretty close to breaking over. Okay, so it's starting to. Now this corner's the first one to go, so that's a little low. So let's raise that up just a tiddy bit. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Left makes it go high. Just a hair. Make sure those are all flat. Push down, make sure it's on all the feet. Okay, we'll go down one more. So they want you to go just until it comes over everything. But even in that, that's going to be we'll try it. I gotta see if I have enough resin. That's gonna be the next thing. You may have to put an order in for some resin. Keep going down. It's going. I mean, I guess I'll set it right there. That's all, but just a little bit. There it went. Okay. And we will try and print again. So we want the platform to be under the liquid on the first dunk. And not there yet, but it's just lit up. Hmm. Okay, so we'll go stop again. We'll confirm. If I top this off, let's just see. We'll print again. and do this one. Whew. So I think their files are set up at 0.50 millimeters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip a file and back this up here. Excuse me. Okay. So I have sheet 2 box loaded up here. What else? Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's all the post processing. So okay. So I'm going to need this screen because I just want to verify. And sheet 2 box is here. And I'm going to do the infamous resin XP2 validation file. Nice, quick, simple, easy. So I have already went to settings and go to add a new printer. Go down to Hitry. Click on the arrow. You have your Rocket 1 and your Rocket 1 Pro. I clicked on the Rocket 1 Pro, clicked OK. I already have that loaded here. This is what I'm on. And so for layer height, I like to use technically 0.03, I believe. Yeah, 0.1. That's pretty high. What do I have for just curiosity? Yeah. So I'm going to stop this just so I can stop the projection from going. Okay, it does bring it up out of the water. So Hitry Rocket Plus or Pro. I'm going to 0.03. 4 layers, that's fine. Exposure time. Here. Bottom layer count is 4. Exposure time 5. They got 10. Transition count 10. 3, 3, 2. That's all correct. What else do you have here? And then we have 5 plus 1. Here they have 3 plus 1 in the manual. Surrounding distance 5 plus 1. There they have 2 plus 1. So that might have something to do with it too. Is your grounding distance on the beginning. Retract distance 1, 280. Okay, they sped that up.
No, I'll just leave it at these, minus what I like to run my layer height at. And we will see what happens with their settings. So we'll go slice. And throw this up. And go save. And I will put this down on my other USB. And then it's successful. I'll pull Hitry's out. Put this in. So let's go print. And there we go. That showed up. There it is. You can't see. Not like you can see anyway. But I try. And so let's go print. And let's see what happens here. So it is lowering into the trough. And that started just above. Alright, I'm very, very curious on this because, well, I mean, I guess it just broke surface tension. You see it disappearing. Okay, we'll stop, we'll confirm. Give me a second. Let me see how much resin I got. We may end up doing the test print. Let's find out. Well, I know this little bottle ain't gonna do it. But what I'm thinking is I might as well try and see if I can level out this guy now that I have the printer pretty much what I think to be level. Move my sticker over a little bit. May have to put a little more glue on the back of it. But alright, so I guess let's try that. I'll take this out of here, I'll empty this out. Ugh. Whew. That almost went on a computer. That would not have been good. Not at all. So let me make a little room over here. Let's see if I can sneak this around the back. Okay. Okay, now I can show you what I mean by wishing this was a little smaller. Because, this has the nice overflow system to it and all that. If this was just a little bit smaller, it would fit right on the inside of here. And you would be able to utilize the overflow system of the actual trough. And it would still give you plenty space, because you got a big distance up there in the front. Of clearance. I just think it would be a lot better if you could get these to where it actually sat on here. But that's just my personal opinion. So let's grab this over here. Get something to drink. Okay. So we'll grab our little build plate and we'll do the same thing. We'll fill this one up with water. Set it on here. Slide this all the way back in. Remember to hold both the mini trough and your scissors lift. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you'll just push this, the trough will stop, and next thing you know, it's going to fall off of the mini lift and onto you. So I'm going to hit print. We'll do this again, and we will hit print. And so righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is going to bring this up. Make sure nothing is hitting. And this is going to vary with my resin too. But I just want to make sure how level this is. Okay, so now I bring this up to meet the needs of the trough or of the build platform. So that went down and still did not break. Our water went down back underneath when it raised back up. Okay. Cancel. So I have my 500. This is what I'm going to do. Because this is supposedly 500 grams of yellow. I'm going to fill up this 500 gram container. Because I don't want to keep picking resin out of this. Trying to think of a way not to waste resin and not to have a lot of cleanup. Oh, well, okay, that was almost a freaking, pardon my French, my language. That was almost about 750 grams of resin, or water, which would have been resin. So I don't even think it's possible to print with this machine with 500 grams. To be honest with you, because if that drops down 16 millimeters, right, let's see here. We'll go print, bring this up. I mean, that's not going to work because I'm stuck on the lead screw and that's pulling the actual trough up. So there's no way, unless you use the filler. If you use the filler, you'll be able to. Let me grab my bottle of filler and I'll show you the instructions. So half of my, you can't see it, you can't see it. Oh, you guys can see it there. But half of the instructions are gone. And you guys can't see it, it's too bright. Let's go off. Yeah, see, half of my instructions are gone, so I can't even use the filler unless I do some research. Turn that back on. Let's see. Show you guys. Okay, so that takes that out of the collection then. I was hoping to use the mini trough and just use 500 grams of resin, but that is not going to work. And that is all the way back. What is stopping that? Why does the other trough fit and that don't. Unless I want to go back through and reset the Z height. Um, that would be the other option to do. Now this does fit on the lower tray that's here without the platform. But I would still put the platform underneath as a safety precaution. Um, hmm. So if that's 500, let me fill this up. Let me see how much resin I can fit in this mini trough. This would be 1,000. And that does not work due to the simple fact of well, this looks way crooked. Okay, so I'm not saying I'm a fan of this mini trough system. I guess let's just try and okay, so that is being supported by the printer now, right there. And that is just supporting very little of the weight on the bottom. Let's try print. Let's just see how far this goes down. So I'd like to use the levelness of the printer the same as the other trough. By using just the lift, you're relying on the levelness of your surface, not the levelness of your printer. And that is way high. So I would have to redo the zero height. Do I want to go through all that? I guess I have to if I really want to give this a try. So let's go back to tools, go back to manual, let's go to 10 millimeters, let's go home. Okay, set it at home. 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay. So that covered everything. So now if I go back, let be 0, hit confirm, go back, go tools, go manual, go home. Go back, go print, go file, go print, and let's see if this goes down to where it's supposed to. Set edits new, 0 height. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a little glue or something on the back of this. Like I said, I had just pulled it off. But it's definitely a lot better than scratching up a door. And that does not go nowhere near where I just set the 0 height to. So that is a no-go option. Hmm. So then you have no choice but to rely on at your surfaces level also. So we'll confirm again. So now I will bring this up to where this wants to start printing at, even though I reset. Well, we'll try it once more. Bring this down. Okay, so it's free. A little bit of snugness, and that is just taking up the bowing in the bottom of the container. Otherwise, I am all setting on the printer itself. So, we will go home. 10 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is almost. We go to 1 millimeter. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Covered everything. So it's probably too much, so I'm going to go up 1, up 2, up 3, up 4, down 1, down 2, down 3, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just set it there. Confirm. Okay, so it did confirm it. So we go back to manual. Actually, let's go to print from here. Click the wrong button. So that's a long distance to travel there. And I am nowhere near where I need to be. Okay, so that's not working. So, in order to use this, stop, confirm, you have to bring this up to the level it wants to print at if you're using the mini trough. So let's go back to home, manual, home. So hit print. This is going to come down. And adjust this on the fly. And you want to keep going so that it just like how it was before. Once it's down, the resin just comes through the holes. So, and if I had resin, that would be printing now. I can see this being very, very, very interesting using the mini trough. Um, calls for an adjustment on the fly on your first layer off the bat on every print because your resin level is going to be different. Um, whereas at least with this guy, you pour it in and you set it to your max height where it starts to pour over the edge. You really can't do that with this, seeing as how um, right now the way I'm looking at it, it looks like there's a lot bigger gap in the back than there is in the front. But this is where leveling your machine comes out to play too. Um, but yeah, so the mini trough, I see there's going to be a couple more steps and some stuff you have to do on every time you start up. If they get it to fit into here, that would be a very, very big help and eliminate a lot of the extra steps that are going to be needed to every time you use your mini trough. Um, or you just gotta bite the bullet and house a lot more resin. You know, like I said, this is almost 400 grams that this guy takes. So start stocking up. Unless you want to try and use the filler. I would like to try and use the filler. That may be another video, another day, somewhere in the future. Um, I would like to try and use this, but I just don't have enough of it. So now I almost have to buy more in order to use it. But even at that, I'm never going to be able to use it all because this has to dunk down into your resin. So, like I said, if I fill this up with 500 grams of resin, I'm only going to be up to here. That ain't going to give me that much room for the actual printer to make the movements it needs to move. Hmm. It's interesting, very, very interesting. So, with that being said, turn this off, turn this off. And I will check this one more time. Not that it really matters, because I'm gonna have to do it again when I switch to resin. So I'm gonna bring you up a little bit so that I don't have to keep coming over. There we go. And that's better. Alright. Still got two people hanging in there with me. Oh wow, it's been 2 hours. Um, Sometimes it takes a while. What can I say? Uh, Especially when you're doing with something new, you never know what to expect. So fix my little foamy rubber there. There we go. Okay, so print. Nope, we want to go tools. We want to go home. Manual, home. Make sure I'm all out of the way. Now, see, that sucks too, because I can't just pull this out and leave this set to where I would like it to be, knowing that I just put roughly 1,500 grams of resin in there. So no matter what, you have to adjust when using your mini trough. Now, could you possibly use another Tupperware type container? I'm sure you could. I mean, that's really all this is. It's just a Tupperware container. As long as you have clearance around your edges from, maybe you could get one that is a little deeper. But then, what's the point? If you get one that's deeper, you might as well use your regular trough because you still gotta have just as much resin. And the other downside to this is clear. This will let UV rays in, this will let sunlight in, and this will cure your resin. So you may want to look into black storage containers. Grab another drink here. Now you could always try and spray paint this. Try and cut back on, the UV light that could come through, but we all know, and if you don't know, um, spray paint just peels right off of these. It's even if you do kind of scuff them up and uh, put some sandpaper on it. Obviously, you wouldn't want to do it on the inside. You would want to do it on the outside. You could always try some PSV vinyl. So PSV stands for pressure sensitive. Um, but there again, with chemicals and always washing and all that, I could see that that wouldn't stick on there that long. Let me go grab my other build platform, seeing as how I have two of them, because I won one in a giveaway when they were first doing these. See if one is a little straighter than the other. Yeah, see, that's what I'm running into right there. There's nothing on that counter. It's getting a little better. Let me grab my other one. Obviously, I know a majority of you don't have the luxury of two build plates unless you happen to buy one in the Kickstarter Extra Tools as an add-on. This one's a little better from what I can tell so far. No, same thing. It's got a little wobble on one side. Not as bad though, but still a little wobble. That could just be, well, no, because these are pretty well sanded and cut down. Okay, let me dry these arms off. This back on. This is nice and dry. And yes, I will grab some resin. Give me a couple minutes here. Alright, here we go. That's a big jug of resin. So we're going to use some JO. Jayo. Some JO gray. This is a 2,000 gram container. I was hoping, kind of anticipating this might be enough, but obviously I guess not. I underestimated by about a bottle of this. So make sure you shake your resin up really good. This has been sitting for a little while. Now I've been trying to think of how I can do this to where I don't cure the resin on the build plate right away, and I can get a chance to actually kind of get this set to the right height. And the only thing I've come up with is to put a piece of paper up over the projector so that it don't actually project onto here while I'm getting my height set. That's the only thing that I've thought of to try and stop that light, so to make this a little easier so I ain't got a mess to clean up right away before I even get started. So I better grab my gloves. Got to grab those. And new box. All right. I'm kind of ready. Are you guys ready? I don't know. I'm excited, but I'm worried. Curious, but I'm doubtful. You know, anybody can take and edit a video pretty well. Except for me, I suck at editing videos. So, I know this takes about 1,500 grams. This is 200 grams. And I know I can't go too low. Due to the Z-rod will hit the back of the trough. If there's not enough. Well, that puts me at about half a liter. A little over. All the bubbles in there. Alright, so that's a lot of resin there. Okay. So let's carefully try and pick this up. Slide this on top of the tray here. All the way back. Now I am on the slides of the printer. Now I can bring this up. That definitely needs some grease. Ugh. Okay. Let's make sure I'm centered on the bottom of here. And I don't feel like ending up with a big old mess. I really, really don't. I'm sure you guys would find it quite amusing, and it may boost my ratings, but that's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so we can lower you guys a little bit here. There you go. I'm down here. Okay, so I'm gonna raise. I need something to block that light piece of paper. Okay, so just something to block that light from coming down. Go all the way to the back. Okay, raise this up. Watch out for that lead screw in the back. Make sure this is all the way to the back. Let's go back out of here. Let's go return. Let's go print. And let's see if I have enough resin or I gotta add more resin. Make sure that projector lens is covered. Okay, didn't come on yet. And it came on, so I do not have enough resin in there. Not enough yet. Like I said, I can't go up any higher because then the lead screw will be grabbing the back of the trough. And I do not want that to happen because that will pull the trough up and create a very, very, very big mess. Okay. Okay. So let's try this again. So block this. Okay. I'm just going back to the two bars by the Z screw that are back there. Now I'm going to go print, grab my file, and adjust this as this comes down until my light clicks on. I'm going to go down a little bit until it stops. Okay, light clicked on. Okay, I'm very, very, very close here. So let's bring you guys a little closer. And And we'll drop you down so you can see. Okay. So we'll do this again. Bring this in. We'll go print. Go file. Go print. Now bring it down. Now hopefully it should be pretty good from where I had it set. We will see. Come down a little bit. Confirm. Alright. Let's see. You guys ready to give this a try? I'm ready. Let's close the door. Well, that's supposed to be a magnet to hold the screw here, I believe, but having the door propped open, really don't, the hinge don't like to close now. And that magnet is not very strong against this screw. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Okay, so that's not kosher. We already know this door handle. It's not the greatest either. Okay, you guys ready? I'm ready. Let's leave her open and push print. I forgot what my settings are. Let's double check. Now I don't know. 5 and 1.2. Minimize. No. I have not used JL resin before. So I'm not sure what the setting times are. But let's just go with it, see what happens. First print on the Hitry Rocket Pro. Hitry Rocket 1 Pro. It's going down, 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 down. Let's make sure it covers. Okay. Somewhat. It's getting a lot of bubbles in there. Now I did see solidness there, and look at that. I do see something there. Zoom you guys in here a little bit. There it is. You see it? I saw it. I see it rising back up. Bring you guys back up here. Well, we got 7 minutes for that to go. The light that I am on, one of my batteries is about to die here, so hopefully it lasts about 7 minutes till this print is done, and then I'll wrap this live stream up. So where was I? Totally. Okay. So it seems like the long setup process of making sure everything is level did come out to be beneficial. I'm just going to move this out of the way of these people, this other camera. It did come out to be beneficial. I did stumble across a few different mishaps that I can see have to be adjusted for. Like I had mentioned, using the mini trough. Now, when I get done printing this print, I will have to readjust my height a little bit again due to the fact of resin being used. And when I take this trough out, or take the build plate out, there's going to be resin over it. I'm going to be taking some out. I'm going to be wasting some. So the level that I have it set at now is not going to be the resin level that's going to be in there when I go to start a second print. Now, that's going to be the same with the big trough, but the big trough, you set it to the height of the trough until it flows over. So all you got to do is just top off your trough every time you use this. Now, granted, again, almost 400 grams of resin. Or, sorry, almost 4,000 grams of resin. We were up at about 3,500 plus, I believe. But there again, that's just topping off a little bit. If you do have a failure where some stuff gets floaty, or even if you don't use your resin for a couple days and this is sitting in the printer, your resin starts to separate. So you're going to have to find some way to mix this up. Now, they do have a mix up feature that is on here, or a stir feature, but in the directions they say you have to contact Hitry in order to figure out how to activate that. There are some looks to appear to be G code inputs, but I'm not too sure. It's one of the things that I did forget to ask Hitry, but I will. So we're almost 50% done here. I'm not too impressed with what I am seeing. I mean, that literally looks like the edges have curled up and it's collecting like a pool. Bring you closer, drop you down, ready, you can go for a ride. Now, can you see that in there? See, that's a lot thicker than that resin exposure test should be. I mean, that thing's almost pushing an 1/8 inch thick right now. I don't know if that's due to some of the bubbles.
but it looks like it's not even going down low enough for dip distance. So let's go back in the sheet 2 box here. Let's see what all of that I can control. Make this widescreen again. Can you guys see? Yeah, you can see that there. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go settings. So bottom distance down. Surrounding distance. So I may have to. In the normal layer printing process, the printing platform moves away from the printing surface each time. And what's this one say? In the bottom layers printing process, the printing platform moves away from the printing surface each time. Okay, so those are each set to 5. So if I put these at, let's say, 10, and we will try that. Because that does not. Hmm. Anybody got any thoughts? Anything? Any ideas? Well, I'm gonna stop this. No, I'm at 93%. I might as well let it go. Got 1 minute left. Hmm. Okay, so I did get some corner peel going on there. It is done. So first print, not too successful. It's definitely not a resin XP file. Some of the holes are there, but it's just a big wrinkly blob. Okay, let's check the platform, see if I got any goopy on there, because it looked like I kind of had some over goop. Yeah, there's some slime on there.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a pain in the butt.
I made it.
Okay, you guys can't see it, but there's a little bit of slimies on the platform. Always make sure to check your platform afterwards and give it a clean. Throw a little alcohol. Okay, let that drip dry for a minute. Now I can show you the goopies that are left on here. Okay. Alright, so you can kind of see them right there next to the magnet, right up here. So yeah, you're always going to want to make sure to take your plate off and clean your plate. So, there you got the best angle. Yeah, you can see them right there, and then right on the side of that magnet. So, you know, and they said third-party resins might do funny things because they're not used to or made for this type of printing. Their leveling properties aren't the same as what some of Hitry's resins are, so they won't level out the correct way. They may be too thick to where you end up with like what happened to me here. This is what I possibly think might be it. It's a little too thick or too bubbly. Uh, I will try one more print here. I don't know how much battery I have up there. And that's the main one for making the actual piece together video. So if that battery dies, I have to quit so that it all gets caught on camera. Just get the alcohol cleaned up here. Alright, so that was on medium light too, by the way. So now, and again, that was bottom exposure time was 10 seconds, and normal exposure time was 1.2. So let's just go 20 and 5. And we'll still do 4 bottom layers. So let's go righty tighty. Which way? I need to bring this up just a little bit. Just gotta actually lower it. So, relevel. Print here, print. Now a lot of the bubbles are gone too, so that might help. Okay. Ooh, looks like I beat that just in time. Alright, so we'll try this again. We'll go print, and let's put this on high. And we'll leave it at medium. We just raised it up. We'll leave it at medium. Okay, so that should go down. And it should just start to bubble up. 3, 2, 1. So yes, it did not like that. This is bubbling up. Alright, well, I'm gonna call it, because as you can see, let me put the door back open here. Grab my tray. As you can see, the corner's lifted again. That just peeled right off. So I must have had the build platform too far down. I mean, that swelled up like a... let me put this down. Oh. Bottom of this. Back this up. I mean, it swelled up like a ravioli, like a wonton. type thing here. So I'm not sure. I will continue to check with a couple of the people that are in my uh, Hitry Rocket 1 and Pro Owners group on Facebook and follow through with them and see what all has what success they've had, what resins they're using compared to the resins I'm using. Well, that's kind of what the group's for. Hitry's got a good page too. Like I said, I'll list them in the links below. Um, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. I try not to hide anything. I want you to, see the things that I go through. I go through stumbles and problems the same as everybody else does. I'm nobody special. I don't do anything different than what you guys would do. Um, I just hope I can help save you from some of the issues that you see me have. So, uh, take care, everybody. Enjoy. Again, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, get notified every time I make some new videos. We'll be following up some more with the Hitry Rocket 1 Pro here, and hopefully we get some success in the future. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Take care, everybody. Bye.